Hello everyone, very good evening. Welcome to Astra, the daily current affairs. Today it is 6th of November 2023. Let's have a quick recap about what are the current affairs that we have in today's newspaper, that is 6th of November. First page. So, Election Commission of India is unhappy on the spate of complaints in the poll-bound state of Telangana. So, this was the Hindu editorial from the so-called Hyderabad edition. Now, you have to remember, Election Commission of India is the one which will be conducting elections for the state legislature as well as the so-called Parliament of India. In this connotation, Election Commission of India's responsibility is to conduct free and fair elections. As a result, it will be appointing some state election authorities. No, the responsibility of the state election authorities is to take corrective measures so that the scope for complaints are minimized. But what is happening? There has been huge amount of the so-called complaints that are arising. So they were unhappy with the number of complaints that has been arisen on this state election authority. State election authority is different from state election commission. They have given state election authority here, so be careful. So state election authority is a body which is appointed by Election Commission of India itself to conduct free and fair elections in the state. So this was the thing. So the final day campaigning was over in Mizoram and Chhattisgarh. So both these states are going for elections tomorrow. That is on Tuesday at morning 6 o'clock. They're going to be an election festival in the state of Maharashtra, in the state of the so-called Chhattisgarh as well as Mizoram. In this context, Mizoram has 40 members assembly and 20 members assemblies for Chhattisgarh assembly constituencies. Both are going for elections tomorrow. What is important here is, so the campaigning has been closed 48 hours much before the so-called the polling date or the so-called polling day. As per the MCC, political parties should not go for any campaigning before 24 hours of date of polling, and before 48 to 24 hours they will be announcing silence day, which means they will be silent on this. So in this connotation, these two things are important that you have to remember. Next one, these are the two things that you have in the print page. The next article that you have is in the editorial page, guys. So in the editorial page, if you have an observation, there is a tiding over. India state should ensure greater compliance of air pollution. Now this is given in the context of recent air pollution data that has been released from the state of Union Territory of National Capital Territory of Delhi. We all know that Delhi is suffering from severe air crisis. In order to overcome this problem, a Supreme Court appointment committee, which termed further as CAQM, was appointed. Now, what is the CAQM? Commission on Air Quality Management is tasked with addressing the cases of air pollution in Indian New Delhi. New Delhi, very very important. What is CAQM? It is a body which is addressing the causes of air pollution in the NCT Delhi and the adjoining states. So this is our most important thing. Just remember that. That is only what we have in the entire article for prelims. Revenue rebound. This is regarding to the so-called the October data of GST collections that has seen the second highest collections after introduction of GST since July 2017. Now this is the second highest, where we have seen a little over 1.72 lakh crores of amount has been collected. So this was the highest in this. So they are giving about, so the highest was proposed in April, where we have seen 1.87 lakh crores. This is the second one, 1.72 lakh crores. So in this connotation, they have given what is this compliance norms, how it is increasing, how GST is going to be very, very beneficial for the country. So please read this article. It will have some basics about how GST is helping the country in order to increase its revenues. Much to lose if the veterans in Qatar case is going to fester. Now in this context, what is this article about? This article about is speaking about the recent verdict that has been given on the so-called Indian Navy officials of 8 members, where a Qatari court has given death sentence or capital sentence for these 8 officials upon the charges that they are involved in some spying. So in this thing, this is very shocking for the country. Hence, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar writes that if you are going to drag this case for a lot of time, India is going to lose a lot if the case is going to fester. So Indians has to take immediate action, and then we have to press in to release these people. Next one is giving the urban India a better life. So this can be used in GS paper 1, where you have urbanization. So urbanization and issues. So there are certain issues that urban areas are seeing, such as the so-called a report by Energy Policy Committee has said that India has 39 cities which are most polluted. Out of the first 50 cities which are most polluted in the world, 39 cities are in India. Pollution is creating some, obviously they will be creating some health hazards. So this is the thing that they have given. As a result, some cities like Mumbai and Delhi are known to be having death by breath. So if you are breathing, then that is going to cause death. So expansion of the grey infrastructure is also happening in the country. Now what is this infrastructure? This is so called, the need is grey infrastructure, means already the infrastructure which is present, they are going to widen it. That is called grey infrastructure. So there are two infrastructures, brown or grey is same, whereas green infrastructure is building up of new projects upon the new areas. That is called green infrastructure. So what they are suggesting, we should have strengthening the governance, we should have focus on public transport. This is going to help the community. So this is important for you. GS paper 1 urbanization. Please read this article along with this GST article. Both things are important. The rest of the things you can leave it. A leaf out of New Zealand voting system, not important for general studies students. It is important for PSAR students, where they have given about two things. What is the difference between the elections that is being conducted in the India, where we go for first past post the system, whereas in New Zealand you have a mixed member proportional system. MMP, mixed member proportional system. What exactly is this, and how it is different from India's the so-called first past post the system. So first past post the system, why we have chosen, how it is going to have, right? So these things and how New Zealand is different from this verdict. A split voting system such as the one in New Zealand could allow voters to choose candidates based on the merit, while ensuring that their party preference determines legislative composition. So on one side, it is going to determine the composition of the legislature, and the second side, they are going to choose the candidate out of the merit system. That is what they are saying. What exactly is this MMP? Not important for general studies students. For PSAR students, when I make video on political systems, I will discuss this, how exactly this is being defined. After this, Telangana news, not important. Who goes to quota? That is quota. That is what they have given. Now the rest of the articles are, one of the most important articles is Bhutan King is going to meet Prime Minister today. The Minister was over and they are going to discuss on one project which is very, very important that they can ask for prelims this year. So what is the project that they have been speaking about? The Gelufu project is present between India and the so-called Gelufu is present between India and Bhutan. So there were one more project known as Kokrajhar as well as Gelufu is associated with India, India, Bhutan. That is important. Ahead of FATF, Center takes implementation strategies. FATF, this we have studied many times. 10,585 votes were cast from home and postal ballot. This is the thing that they are saying now. So this is reforms introduced by Election Commission of India to increase the so-called participation of people in elections. Now, Government of India has permitted, based upon the demands of the so-called Election Commission of India, that the disabled people, the senior citizens who are above 85 years and the disabled people can exercise their franchise from being in the homes. That is called home voting. And what is postal ballots? Postal balloting is given for those people who are involved in the so-called election duties. People with the officials involved in election duties, they can go for postal ballots. So like this, you have home ballots and postal ballots. Home ballots is for whom? Those who have crossed their 85 years of age, and then for the people with disabilities. These are the two things that you have to remember. Subsequently, this is nothing important. You can conveniently leave the rest of the stories. So you have nothing more. So these are the articles that you have in today's newspaper. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.